All right, hey guys. This is our first live deck building that we're going to be doing. This is something that I think is kind of going to be fun. I'm Sensor Cook,
I'm Elijah Samuelson.
and we're here to kind of show you guys our thought process when it comes to building a deck, and we're gonna kind of just see where we go with this. This is a deck. We're doing Liesa today, Shroud of Dusk, and this is a card that I've kind of been wanting to build since she came out, since she was spoiled. And I just never kind of got around to it because I've been busy and I'm really bad at getting them making, like, convincing myself to make decks. So I think this is a good excuse to kind of make some videos.
Yeah, we'd been talking about this deck for a while, and then like all these cool like things and like sub themes you could do in an Orzhov deck, and then I got too excited about it and I cracked and made my Shadric Silver Quill deck.
Yep. So one thing, so we're just gonna get started right away, and I just want to say that there's a lot of ways you can go about. There's a lot of avenues you can go when you're building your deck. Like you can start at a bunch of different places, but for me, the start of this deck was this card, which was, what was it called, Eli? Do you remember?
Righteous Valkyrie.
Righteous. Oh God, you guys have to see me. I have to see me struggle with spelling righteous. There we go. Nope. Righteous Valkyrie. Did I spell that right? Oh no. Guys, don't laugh at me. Righteous. There we go. Valkyrie. So this is a card that kind of inspired me to make this deck. This is a 3-mana dude or whatever, and it disappeared. Architect being epic. There we go. New category. Nope. I'm a boomer right now. Add to deck. There we go. So the thought process here is that you play a Righteous Valkyrie on 4 or on 3, and then you play Furia's spelling hard. Furia's Retribution on turn 4. This Saga here, and I put it in my creatures. God damn it! This is a train wreck already, but that's fine. You play Furia's Retribution on turn 4, and then you curve that into Liesa, and this kind of just like ends up gaining enough life off of the Righteous Valkyrie to have that +2/+2 activation ability or static ability activated for your team, and then you get the double strike from the Furious Retribution as well as the extra Angel, and you just kind of curve into killing people's things and swinging for like 30+ damage. So that's like the inspiration for the deck. So what I'm kind of thinking for this deck is that I kind of want to play it as a little bit of a kind of a mid-range, not super hate bears, but like you'll play a couple of them. So kind of like a mid-range deck with a little bit of an aristocrats theme for like a finisher. So Eli, one thing that we had talked about was this combo with
Alliance of Arms.
Yeah, Alliance of Arms, and I did it again. Alliance of Arms and Massacre Worm. So the idea here is that you give everyone a bunch of 1/1 creatures, and then you kill all their creatures with Massacre Worm, and then you kind of use that as a finisher to deal a bunch of damage to them. And there's a lot of like cool things you can do with this, where there's a join forces, or so there's another card besides Alliance of Arms that gives people 2/2 zombies. It's like Tombstone something. Let me see if I can find that. I'm gonna put
Tombstone Stairwell.
I'm gonna put that in the deck
the
too.
Enchantment.
Yeah, this is a 4-mana enchantment that has a cumulative upkeep, but the idea, what it does is it pretty much gives everyone a bunch of 2/2s in play on their upkeep, which is equal to the number of creatures or number of creatures in their graveyards, and then they get sacrificed at the end step. So, if you have like the what am I trying to say? Like Blood Artist creatures, like that just ends up doing a lot of damage to people as well.
Yeah, or even like we had talked about stuff like Suture Priest, like when you give people creatures, they're going to lose a life.
Yep.
And aside from Massacre Worm, you could also have like a Elishnorn or something.
Yep. So we're just going to throw some of those in there and kind of see where we're going from this. So these are like kind of the ideas. What's the Zulaport Cutthroat? Just these are like the key synergy like pieces that like the deck is supposed to be built around. So what'd you say? Elishnorn would be kind of cool. Norn.
You got the 4-mana Blood Artist, the Falconwrath Noble.
Yeah, we'll put that in there. That might get cut because it's a little bit, I don't know how much we want to go with it, but for now it's fine. I think that's about all the aristocratic creatures that we want, right?
Because notably, like those like Blood Artist and Falconwrath Noble count every creature dying, so not just your own like Zulaport Cutthroat.
Yeah.
So you can turn like an Alliance of Arms for like X equals 5 plus plus a Blood Artist effect and a board wipe into like 20 plus damage.
Yeah, and the thing with the on this same theme, you know, if we're doing this kind of aristocrats thing and we're giving people tokens, we want to have more than just Massacre Worm as a way to kill them. So something I think is important would be to like if you want to be able to play both this where is it, Alliance of Arms and a board wipe on the same turn. So I think that new board wipe with Foretell, remember the name of it, Eli? I can Doomscar is kind of fits the theme of this deck, because it has that, you know, that ability to, you know, you can play this for 3 mana as well as playing an Alliance of Arms for maybe, you know, 6 or whatever. Then you have a couple aristocrats in play, and then you kind of dome the table after you've already kind of whittled them down by having a Liesa in play.
And you really like Plague Engineer, right?
Yep. So this is another kind of thing that you can do is you can play a Plague Engineer as like a way to kind of get value out of giving them tokens as well, because they just would die immediately. So that's really cool if you can have a Plague Engineer naming what is it, human or soldier, and then maybe you have a Massacre Worm out or something, or even you just have a Falconwrath Noble out and you play a Plague Engineer after playing an Alliance of Arms, and your opponents take like 1 million damage.
There's this card, Ethereal Absolution, that I put in my Shadrix deck. It's a 6 mana. Your creatures get +1/+1, and your creatures your opponents control get -1/-1. So it's kind of like a mini Elish Norn on enchantment. And then it also has like a built-in graveyard hate ability.
Yeah.
Because like especially in Shadrix, if you have to give somebody a 2/1 on a turn, it'll just die right away anyway. So it's like no downside.
Yeah. So this is kind of like the idea for the deck here, right here. Pretty much is kind of like the core stuff. And even though this is kind of like the core cards, like it's very possible that as we continue making this deck, I realize that, you know, I don't actually think Ethereal Absolution is good enough for the deck, and it might be heartbreaking for you, Eli, but I might, you know, maybe we just like, you know, we cut this or something, possibly.
Yeah, you probably don't need like a million different ways, like.
Yeah. So as we kind of add in the cards that you kind of need to play in your commander decks, you know, it's very possible that we just cut some of this stuff. But something that if we can just take a second, and these prices might be a little bit weird because I think for example, this Elish Norn here is $450. I think that's the wrong version of it or something. I'm not sure why Card Kingdom.
Oh no, that's just Card Kingdom prices.
Yeah, that's normal Card Kingdom prices. So let me actually just go into this. I think in here, no, not there. There's a way you can change it to show TCG player prices, which is much preferable, of course, right? Everyone loves that. I'll find it in a moment. But in the meantime,
what do you think of something like Pestilence, Spencer?
This is a 4 mana enchantment that says, the end of each turn, if no creatures in play, you sacrifice it, and you can pay a black to Pyroclasm the board, deal 1 damage. Not Pyroclasm, sorry, Pyrohemia the board, deal 1 damage to each creature in play.
Yeah, Pyrohemia is actually a color shifted version of Pestilence.
True. Yeah, how do you spell Pestilence? Pestilence. I got it. See, this is why we can't do these live things, because you realize I can't spell any cards. Sure. So the idea of, you know, having that Massacre Worm out or something, or having these Blood Artist effects out, and you just dome the board and kill everyone at the same time after having dealt chip damage with Liesa. I don't think that wants to be the only way that you win in this deck. So I kind of want to like lean into a little bit of beaters to kind of hit people. Not big beaters, but maybe medium-sized beaters.
Yeah.
So some stuff that might be interesting would be, what was that angel that makes 4/4s with flying if you gained life?
Yeah, Valkyrie Harbinger.
Yeah, Valkyrie Harbinger. This is kind of a new card, but it kind of fits that theme of if you gained 4 more life this turn on your end step. Oh, each end step. Ooh. So if you have some other ways to gain life.
Like, yeah, if somebody swings into you for whatever reason.
And you block with your Liesa. Or if somehow someone, you know, if there's some, like with this Tombstone Stairwell, if you can somehow, or not Tombstone Stairwell. Yeah, I guess. If you have Tombstone Stairwell here and an Elish Norn in play, they make all their zombies, they die, and you also have a Blood Artist. There's a lot of cards.
Do you think, so obviously, like, Liesa's ability is symmetrical, but it's not probably going to be the worst deal for you. Do you think you'd want to play like Soul Sisters
Yep.
or like a Authority of the Consoles to like
I do.
stem the bleeding a little bit?
Soul Warden. I do think that because while I don't think I really want to include any like life gain synergy in this deck, I do think that the Liesa ability of having to pay extra life multiple times, and also people kind of probably want to hit you as well. You kind of want to stem that bleeding with these Soul Warden effects, and they kind of work in tandem with some of these other cards, like for example the Righteous Valkyrie. So you have Soul Warden, you have what's the other 1-mana one called?
Authority of the Consoles or
The creature. Soul's Attendant.
Yeah, Soul's
yes.
Attendant.
Authority of the Consoles, Soul's Attendant. There we go. So we kind of got a decent start here for cards. I want to change the sorting so it does... let's see. I want to sort by CMC instead of these types. There we go. That's much better. Although I don't like how Architect puts these down here, but we'll get over it, I guess. One thing I think at some point in your deck you have to kind of think about is, are you the kind of deck that wants to play Mana Rocks? And if you are, which kind of Mana Rocks do you want to play? I think this is a deck that does want to play Mana Rocks, but I think also you do just want to play... There's a lot of really good like 2-drops in black and white, so it's a little bit awkward, but I think we want to play both Mana Rocks, 2-mana Mana Rocks, and 2-drop creatures. So
that's what I went with in my Shadrix deck, and I actually kind of split my Mana Rocks between 2 and 3 CMC.
Yeah,
because there's a couple like neat 3 CMC rocks, but actually like not as many as you would think.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually did give a Heraldic Banner a try.
That might be all right in this deck, actually.
Yeah, especially like an extra power on your lifelink creatures.
Yeah. What's the name of the talisman in these colors?
Talisman of Hierarchy.
Thank you. So we're gonna add the 2 talisman. They're the 2 good ones here. We're gonna add an Arcane Signet. We're gonna add a Soul Ring. There are no cards of this name, Arcane Signet. There we go. If it'll load, that is. I don't know how many, like those are just like the good 2 mana and less rocks. I'm not going to add, while we are not like taking into account budget for this deck, I'm not going to add in Mana Crypt just because it's not a card that I've ever played with in paper, only in online, so I'm just not going to put it in this deck. That being said, I am going to put in a land tax, even though I do not own one. Eli has several, so I can mooch off him not for the purpose of playing the deck, but just for I get the credit to put it in the list we're making. There we go.
How about Weathered Wayfarer then too?
That card is awesome. I like keeping the curve low. That's a really good source of card advantage. You got to put in Smothering Tithe to your white decks. That's just important. Let's see. So something interesting that I want to point out is because Liesa has this kind of forever 5 mana ability on her. I don't know how many 5-drops I really want to play in my deck. Like, there's a couple of good ones that you would consider, like Archangel of Thune or like Crested Sunmare or something, but maybe you don't even want those. I'm not quite sure.
Maybe just try, because you always want to play her on 5, right?
You probably do, yeah. So maybe
you want her to start triggering and hurting your opponents as soon as possible, right?
Yeah. And you want to start probably getting that life and just kind of swinging at people for 5 and kind of setting up your game. I want to try to... So, because I want to play this as kind of... one card that I've been putting in a lot of decks lately is Redain. Is it R-E-I? Redain? Redain, there you go. Redain, God of the Worthy. Because this card is just awesome and it really fits. Looks like you're trying to drag it into a custom stack. Very cool. This card just kind of fits the theme of kind of taxing your opponents, if I can find it, as well as being like a flying card that attacks. She's also has that second mode, which isn't very relevant, but notably, if your opponent has like a pyro hemia effect, it could work against that.
Do you want to try this Eradicator Valkyrie in this deck?
Yeah, sure. Speaking of Eradicator Valkyrie, that might be a card that gets cut, but let's put it in there for now. Because we might be making our deck and realize that we just need to put more card advantage in there, and that is kind of card advantage because it's like removal, but maybe we just don't know what we're gonna need when we.
Yeah.
So, Sun Titan is kind of an obvious choice for me.
If we're disregarding budget constraints, would you play Twilight Prophet?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. There's a couple Twilight Prophet like similar cards that I kind of want to put in this deck because they seem like the kind of thing I want to play. So I want to play Twilight Prophet. I'm going to put in Dark Confidant. I know there's we play a lot of low CMC spells in our deck to hit off Dark Confidant. Not that really matters. I think you just play Dark Confidant either way. This might be crazy, but I want to play Mindblade Render because I think that card's just honestly kind of like a Dark Confidant often. I don't know if we really have any warriors in our deck, but I don't think that's super important that we have warriors. The new Dark Confidant Eli. Yeah, let's
try to find it here.
It kind of there's not a lot of decks that I think want to play it, but this seems like one of the ones that
You've
does.
You've got a decent amount of like middle CMC,
and you really do want to be making your opponent take that incidental damage. So I'm going to put in Keen Duelist here.
It seemed really good for me the other day that I played it because maybe I was just getting lucky and I kept revealing big stuff and my opponent kept revealing like 1-drops or lands off of it. So we were both drawing cards, but I was dealing a lot of damage with Keen Duelist.
Yeah. Let me think. So we have, for our sources of card advantage, we have, Land Text kind of, Souls or Weather Wayfarer kind of, Dark Confidant, Keen Duelist, and Mindblade Render. I really like these card advantage engines that kind of come out early as turn 2, so you can just kind of like set up your game with it. Twilight Prophet isn't similar to that. It comes out a bit later, but it is pretty good. What other sources of card advantage do you think we should play in our deck, Eli? Do you have any?
You think you might like Mangara in this deck?
Yeah, I could see Mangara being solid. Mangara is just a good ass card, honestly. Mangara, the Diplomat. There we go.
What about Bolas Citadel? I saw that and then I was like, well, so Liesa also like is gonna hit you for an extra 2, but you probably have so much life gain that it's probably pretty good.
Bolas Citadel is just kind of another one of those Smothering Tithe type effects, which if you don't always have to be wanting to do Bolas Citadel things. You don't need to put it in all your decks, but it is quite a good card. Let's see, where do we want to go from here?
Probably need some haste, right?
Yeah.
Lightning Greaves.
Yeah. I don't really like Swiftfoot Boots very much these days, but I think Lightning Greaves is a solid card. And if we're playing Lightning Greaves, you know what card I want to put in the deck, Eli?
What?
Stoneforge Mystic.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think this deck is going to be a really heavy equipment theme, but if this is just kind of like a package I like to put in where I just play like Stoneforge Mystic and like 2 things to get with it, and you usually
it's Skull Clamp.
Yeah, this deck seems pretty solid with Skull Clamp. We got a lot of 1 toughness, like 1-drops and 2-drops, so might as well put Skull Clamp in the deck, right?
Worst case scenario, you put it on your Liesa, get in for more damage, and then
when
she dies, which you don't care about, you draw 2 cards. So
we got the 3-card combo of any white player, which is Skull Clamp, Lightning Greaves, and where is it? And what card? Where you at? Stoneforge Mystic. There you go. I don't think I want to play the other the renowned Stoneforge Mystic in this deck because it's not super focused on. I'm
trying to think what other are there even any more equipments because like it's fine if you just had like the 2. It's probably good enough.
Oh, a Keeper of the Accord. This is just feels like so far this is just feeling like a kind of like a Orzhov good stuff deck, which I'm happy for.
Yeah.
Right now, how many cards we at? We at 39 cards, so we got room for another 20-some cards in the deck, which is pretty solid. We probably have to fit in some removal and stuff in pretty soon.
So how's the curve look so far? Is it?
So right now we are 8 1-drops, 11 2-drops, 3 3-drops. So probably want to get some more of those in there. Mm-hmm. 9 4-drops, no 5-drops essentially, bunch of 6-drops, and a 7-drop. So maybe we have too many 6-drops.
If we load up the with more 2 CMC and 3 CMC like ramp, probably don't need too many other 3-drops.
Sure. So if you think we want to try out, I mean, I personally tend to stay away from 3 CMC ramp, but if we're playing it, I think the best one's got to be Commander Sphere. Mm-hmm. So let's just throw that in there and see how that does.
Did you want to try the Heraldic Banner? It's been pretty okay for me so far.
We'll give it a shot. I've never played it, so let's throw it in there, see if it does anything cool. And then maybe one or two more 2 CMC ones. So, what's the Mind Stone probably?
Everflowing Chalice, maybe?
Yeah, do you think Everflowing Chalice is better than the other 2 mana, not Cold Steel Heart, but the Felwar Stone? Felwar Stone probably over Everflowing Chalice, I think. Mm-hmm. So I think that probably does it about for our 2 CMC ramp. I think I want to get a little bit more card advantage in this deck. So how do you feel about playing? The kind of Midnight Reaper kind of effects in this deck? So like we play a couple of these creatures that when another creature you control dies. This one's non-token, but you draw a card and lose a life, and then we can play like the Edict creatures. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that seems good.
So what's the other one besides Midnight Reaper? Do you remember its name? The 3 mana one? I can't quite remember. I can search it up. Not that.
Oh, the one with Morph?
Yes. We can
Grim Haruspex.
Grim Haruspex. Well, there you go. I don't even need to look it up. This one, I think... Does this one work on non-token creatures too? I think one of them does. No, this is also non-token. Oh, this is an art I have not seen before. What is this? Or whatever. So if we play Grim Haruspex, we can put in Plague Crafter. And I don't know how many of these you want to play. What's the other one that's not Fleshbag Marauder? Oh, wait, actually, if we're playing Mindblade Render, which cares about warriors, we can play Fleshbag Marauder because... Or not Fleshbag Marauder, the other one. The one that's
Merciless Executioner.
Because that's a warrior.
It is a warrior.
There you go. So we got Merciless Executioner in there. Let's see. I didn't add it yet. Kind of interesting. Which slightly makes it slightly better than the other one. I think if we add in these 2 effects, the Midnight Reaper and the Grim Haruspex, we definitely probably have enough card advantage in this deck.
So this is one I just saw. I'm looking through like the EDH rec page, and it actually seems like really cool as like a top. What do you think of Villas? Because like if you have Liesa, it's just whenever you cast a spell, you draw 2 cards.
Yeah, sure.
You'll lose 2 life.
That's kind of cool.
And he's also just an 8/8 flying with removal built onto him.
So we can play that as kind of like a top end for our deck. That seems kind of cool.
Oh, you got to get your Reanimates in here.
Oh yes, sorry, I forgot. They got to play it in the staples. Reanimate, the best black card in the game. Hot take there. Reanimate, very broken.
How about Animate Dead?
And too? I think usually I want to play both Reanimate and Animate Dead.
So I don't know if we have like too many 6+ CMC things yet, but did you want to put like
Grave
Sun
Titan?
Titan and Grave Titan?
Sun Titan's in there. Grave Titan needs to be in there. We probably are gonna have to cut some things, which is fine. Oh my god, these new arts. We'll throw in whatever. The price of this deck isn't going to be exactly correct because I just clicked whatever first art they had, and some of them are more expensive. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So this is a kind of deck where I think maybe this is a card that I've been wanting to play every once in a while. I think what is it? The 1 mana black. For return a creature CMC 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Do you remember the name? Unearth, yes. I think Unearth is pretty okay in this deck because it hits. I just want to play it, and I think it getting back your Zulaport Cutthroat on a combo turn might be important enough to just have that extra thing that does it. So if I'm playing like Reanimate in my deck, it makes me kind of want to play some way to discard a Villas or a Massacre Worm, and if I was playing like a blue deck, I think this would be a perfect deck for oh god, what's it called? There's a 2 mana blue creature that says whenever an opponent casts a spell, if it wasn't from their hand, you draw a card, and it also just has an incidental. You can discard a card to make it unblockable. Remember that card's name?
Oh yeah, is it like a spectral something?
Nah, whatever. Here, we'll just look this up because that's what we do here. We just look them up. Oh, but that would be a card that I think would be perfect for this deck. So while I'm doing this, think if you can find any black discard outlet cards that maybe are creatures would be better that aren't terrible.
Well, maybe just enough like early card draw or like land tax and
to
whether
discard.
Wayfarer just discard to hand size if you only need to discard like one thing.
Yeah,
early on.
That might be a way to do it. Here's the cards. Ghostly Pilferer. This is a card that I think would fit this deck perfectly. But unfortunately, it's a blue card. So maybe we do have enough. I don't think I want to play the imp or whatever that has threshold that you can just discard a card. Is that an imp?
Yeah, that's. I don't think that has much.
I don't think it's really
much use.
Yeah, but we might want. I think I maybe do want to play something like a Viscerus here, just because you probably want at least one sack outlet in a.
Probably one of the best ones, right?
It is probably the best one, or at least one of the. Is it crazy to want to play like a? Viscerus here is a card that goes pretty well with Bolas' Citadel. So is it crazy to want to play the other Viscerus here in the guy that makes a goat? Is that crazy?
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
What's
it's
that?
also got
Escape.
What's
that guy's name? Do you remember? You know what? I can just look up goat
Gross.
and we find it right there. Easy peasy. Low Strider. See that? This is how you do it, guys. If you want to find the card that makes a goat, you look up goat. So let's throw Woe Strider in there, and we're like I said, we're gonna have to make some cuts.
So
but
how many cards are you at so far?
We're at 54 cards, and we haven't put any removal in.
You want to go through and add removal and board wipes and stuff?
Yeah, so obviously...
you probably got enough ramp, enough card draw.
Yep.
Definitely enough like finishers and top end.
So get Swords of Plowshares in there. Probably want Path to Exile. I mean, I could see not playing Path to Exile, but I think that card's just awesome. So we'll throw it in there. Let me think. What else? We probably want a way to deal with... Kaya's Guile. I love that card. That's Graveyard Hate, I believe. It's great.
Edict.
It's an Edict, Graveyard Hate, or Life Gain, or make tokens. So this might be cuttable, but I kind of want to just throw it in there for now.
It's really cool.
You feeling Heliod's Intervention?
Oh, probably.
Because Heliod's Intervention. Let's see.
Maybe do like a Generous Gift.
Yeah, Generous Gift is solid. I think it's funny that we're putting in all the white removal and not much black removal. So what are we forgetting about in black that we really want to play? Oh, how about that new Exile a Creature card?
Baleful Mastery.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
You want to try that?
Yeah.
Although, do we want to... I guess we do want to kill creatures, but exiling them is not... It's fine. It doesn't matter.
I feel like that's probably enough spot removal, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have the one. We also have those edicts that we play, so I think we have more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
We've got if we count the edicts, which maybe you shouldn't count them, but if we count the edicts, we have 8 spot removal for creatures or so, something like that, and maybe we only have 1 for. I guess we have 2 in the Heliod's Intervention and the elephant. For
gift.
Yeah, for instances or for artifacts and enchantments. So we want to get some board wipes in there.
Yeah, probably Austere Command, right?
Yep, Austere Command kind of fits that purpose of hitting everything that you need to hit.
Toxic Deluge.
Yeah, Toxic Deluge is one of the best ones, especially because it's one that you can combo off with for low mana. Maybe
Doomscar already, right?
Yep, we got that in there. There's so many things I want to fit in this deck.
Winds of Abandon?
I think.
I
think I would.
Maybe not.
Maybe it's not bad. Maybe this isn't the deck for it. I don't know. Because I don't know how many board wipes I want. Because we already do have the board wipes in creatures in Elishnorn, kind of, and the worm.
Yeah. So maybe.
So, do we want to play Demonic Tutor? We don't have to play tutors in the deck, but that would be, just a good card.
Yeah.
If we want to put it in, sure. How many cards we at right now? We're at 63 cards, so we're gonna have to make some cuts because there's other stuff I want to add as well. We haven't even done it yet, but we've got I want to put some MDFCs in here. So I want to put in...
We'll just count those towards the land slots.
Sure. I'll just throw in Ondu.
How many lands are you thinking so far? Like 38?
38, 37, something like that. So I'll throw an Ondu Inversion. I want to play the black one, if you remember that card's name. The one mana...
Malakir Rebirth.
Malakir Rebirth. I'm going to skip on Hagra Mauling for now. And I'm also going to skip on... I think I'm going to skip the Faith Shield one as well.
Sajiri Shelter. What about the mythic ones?
This might actually... Oh, this actually is an Agadeem's Awakening deck. I think this is. Because you just... Right? Because this is the one that returns your bunch of creatures from your graveyard to the battlefield.
CMCs.
Yeah, this is a deck where you just like play that for X equals 3, and you return a 1-drop, 2-drop, and a 3-drop on turn 6. That seems good. So, what? Agadeem's Awakening... And
I like Amiria's Call.
I like Amiria's Call too, so we'll put that in too. Amiria's Call. Let's see. So right now we've got 4 MDFCs. We have 67 cards. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cut the Ethereal Absolution. I think it's a bit too high on what we're doing. Let's see.
Yeah, most of these creatures are big enough, and it's not like a super dedicated go wide deck.
Yeah. Some of these cards are just like new cards that we want to try, like Eradicator Valkyrie. Maybe this isn't even what we want to do because we put in the other Edict creatures. So maybe we don't want this. But I mean, it seems cool.
Do you think maybe you could cut like a 3-mana Edict creature and try that out?
Okay.
Because how many 3-drops are you playing like compared to like 2-mana ramp? Because
you're right.
Because like one thing that I do in a lot of decks where I like overload on 2-mana ramp is I play a lot fewer 3-drops, and like not that it's like they're like bad. It's just like it feels awkward to like go 2-mana ramp to 3-drop the next turn.
All right, let's cut. Let's cut the Merciless Executioner. I'm down with that. Because the Grimhara specs are just supposed to be good with... I don't think we really need to lean into the sacrificing creatures thing. I think we can just let our creatures die and it'd be alright.
Oh, and that Angel's a warrior, isn't it?
Is it? Berserker. Dang. Let's see. How do you feel about adding in more cards instead of cutting cards? How do you feel about... I mean, the cards that are looking kind of sus to me... I mean, like, I don't know how good this Valkyrie Harbinger is, but I mean, it seems like it would be good, right? Just making angels. But I'm not saying to cut it, but like, if we're playing this card, you might as well play Crested Sunmare, right?
Well, Crested Sunmare on its own doesn't gain you the life, so you have to have...
Oh, but this one has lifelink, I see.
So this one, at very least, it's you hit somebody, end step, you make a 4/4.
Okay, so if you have like a Greaves in play or something and they kill your Liesa, you can just like play on curve, you just like, okay, Valkyrie Harbinger, attack with it, get a 4/4 as well.
Yeah, so I like this. Like, Crested Sunmare is also very good, but it's also a 5-drop, so it's like, it overlaps with that, the Liesa turn.
Yeah, that's true. Do we want to... Oh, sorry. We gotta add more cards in because I gotta add Selfless Spirit to this deck because this is a deck where we wanna, where we're gonna want to keep our board or at least board wipe, and if we can.
And I'm just seeing it. Phyrexian Reclamation.
Yeah, this is.
Think of that?
Yeah, I like it. I'm trying to think of how we're gonna be attacking people because. I think a lot of our damage is actually going to come in the air. I think maybe the Keen Duelist isn't real, or the Mindblade Render, isn't really doing... I mean, I like this card a lot, but I don't think we're actually the kind of deck that's going to be able to get hits off with it. What do you think about cutting this, Eli?
Yeah, there's probably enough, like, card advantage, and, like, even if you don't have, like, a ton of card draw, like, it just feels like you're going to curve out so well.
Yeah, this is a deck where even if I don't have a ton of card draw, I can just keep casting my commander every turn if I need to. Let's see. We need to cut some more cards because we're at 66. I guess we do have 4 MDFC or 4, 3? I think 4. 4. So we really are at we could put in some more. We could put in 36 lands or 34 lands and be good, but yeah, this is really just like a first draft of this deck. I mean, there's some cards you can include. Like I kind of want to try out cards like Mana Tithe or Lapse of Certainty, just as kind of like interesting ways to attack on different axes.
How many slots do we have left?
Not many. We're at 66 cards with 4 MDFCs, so if we put in all the lands now, we'd be at 38 lands. So we could cut some stuff though. I'm fine with that. Like
38 lands is pretty good.
Yeah, no, I know. But if you're looking to put more stuff in, I don't know if you have anything in your mind that you're like, because we could. I mean, I could see just cutting like a Woe Strider or something, or even like we could even cut the whole Midnight Reaper Grim Haruspex thing and try to do something else with these slots. We could cut Kaya's Guile. We could cut Heraldic Banner and Commander's Sphere.
I don't know how I feel about the Midnight Reapers and
they
Grim Haruspex, because they're just non-token creatures, and
we do
outside of the there's like a few like 1 and 2 drops, but like.
So I'm gonna cut this whole package with those, the Plaguecrafter and the Unearth, because that's kind of that's kind of like a package there. I'm gonna cut the whole package to make more room for other things. If you're cool with that. So what else do we have here? I do kind of like this Woe Strider thing we're doing, where we kind of go Woe Strider into Bolas' Citadel, and then we scry away stuff, and we kind of keep gaining our life off of the Zulaport Cutthroats and stuff. Do we need a way to? Do we want to have things that make tokens for that? Do we really not care about making tokens? Are we forgetting something that makes tokens for everybody that we want to play? For the combo? For the Massacre Rim combo? We might be. Oh, I want to play Court of Grace. If you're cool with that.
Oh, yeah.
Court of Grace is a cool card. It puts the Monarch in the game. It is both an angel to attack people in the air. Also, gets us that card advantage.
If you wanted, you could play Forbidden Orchard.
Yeah,
one of your lands.
I think I'm gonna. I don't think that quite does enough for us, but I like the thought there.
Yeah, because that also like sucks for Edict creatures.
Do we want to? So we have like 2 avenues of winning the game here. We have beats and we have draining / Massacre Worm things. Do we want to add in like a one of Exsanguinate or something, or maybe even like Debt to the Deathless or something, as well as like a Phyrexian Altar or something like that? Is that something you think would be good or no?
Phyrexian Altar? I don't know.
Or Ashnod's Altar or something is what I meant. Maybe not. How do you feel about something like? We probably should play some sort of way to rebuild. So some sort of either
Command the Dreadhorde.
I think Command the Dreadhorde would be this is very on theme for this deck. Playing with our life total going down to 2 life.
That's one of my favorites. Well, especially like what you could do.
I understand.
Is you pick a Soul Sister from one of your creatures, and then they come in and like you don't gain all the life back. You're still going to lose a lot, but you recoup some of it.
But you can get back like all the 1-drops for free. The 2-drops only cost you 1 mana. If you end up getting 2 of them, like a Soul Warden and a the 2 mana one, like all of a sudden you can kind of, as long as you don't dip below the life total.
Spencer, if you get back a Villas with a Command the Dreadhorde, do you gain or do you draw a ton of cards?
I need to read this. Where is Command the Dreadhorde?
Because I know it was a thing a thing you could do in like Standard was Command the Dreadhorde back the Wanderer into play, and then it deals the damage to you, and the Wanderer prevents the damage. So that should work, right?
I don't think so, because it says well, maybe. Well, wait, is that how that works? Well, I'm not actually sure about that. Actually, it says it deals damage to you before it puts them into the battlefield, but it might all just resolve at the same time. And
because I know that worked with the Wanderer, so I'm assuming it should work.
So that worked with the Wanderer.
Yeah, I saw people on like Magic Twitter talking about like weird like standard combos with that.
Either if that works, that's very cool. Even if it doesn't work, I think it's still
a good card.
Still cards that stay in the deck. Oh, do we want to add? So if we're having these moments where we're drawing like, if we get like a Villas combo out sort of thing where we can like kind of draw 15, 20 cards, do we want to play any sort of like Dark Ritual kind of things? Like just to make mana?
I like Dark Ritual.
This might be a little bit too spicy. I'm going to put Dark Ritual in, but it might be a little too spicy, but we could play something like Reign of Filth, if you know that card. Reign of Filth is... Let's see if I can find it. If it loads. Hello. There we go. Each land you control gains sacrifice this land, add black to your mana pool until end of turn. So you'd be going off with your Villas and you would just sacrifice all your lands to kill them.
It sounds like it's gonna go wrong somehow.
I'm not gonna put it in the deck, but I think it's an interesting thought. Man, 15 1-drops. That's awesome. I love that. A lot of them aren't things you play on turn 1, like Alliance of Arms and some of these like interaction spells, but that feels good to play. Let me just count the ones that you'd play on. Oh, this is a deck that plays Sarah's Ascendant.
That's just Sarah.
Sarah Ascendant. God damn it. Sarah Ascendant. I almost forgot. That's an awesome card for this deck. So how many like proactive 1-drops do we have in this?
Oh wait, if there's enough room, is this a
we have
Ranger
room.
Captain deck?
Oh yeah, I think this is a Ranger Captain deck. Because we get to tutor up so many things, and if it's a Ranger Captain deck, is it a Giant Killer deck? I don't think it is. But Giant Killer is a really cool card because it's chop down. It's a kill spell that you can tutor up with Ranger Captain. I mean, I don't think we need that though quite enough. But let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 proactive 1-drops. That is awesome.
So how many cards are we at now?
Right now we're at 67 cards, 4 of which are... So right now if we put in a bunch of lands, we'd be at 37 lands. So we could
maybe cut one spell and
then call her good.
Fill in the rest of the lands.
Yeah, let me see what we got here. I feel like there's a... How do you feel about cutting Kaya's Guile?
Yeah, there's... or maybe some other... Maybe
some other removal.
What about that Baleful Mastery? Because I feel like you already got like Swords and Path,
sure,
right?
Let's cut Baleful Mastery. I'm down with that. Maybe we want to put Kaya's Guile back, but maybe instead of Kaya's Guile, let's play that 5... I mean, it's 5 mana, but let's play that 5 mana card that... Or is it 4? That exiles all cards from opponent's graveyards from the recent set, and then you can cast one of them. Do you remember, you know what I'm talking about?
I think like Author of Shadows or something.
How do you feel about that? Can we put that in? Is it 5 or 4? 5, I think.
Yeah, he's 5.
Maybe we don't want to put that in just because we got the perfect curve with no 5-drops.
Yeah.
That might...
He's cool, but yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's fun enough to I think it's a better meme to have no 5-drops.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that? I was going to cut... It's a 4-drop. There we go. Baleful Mastery. Sure, we don't really need that in a white deck. That makes sense to me. We have Eradicator Valkyrie. That seems cool. Do you want to play the other Boast, the black Boast tutor creature or something?
I'm not sure if he's that great.
I don't think he is. Do you want to play... I was thinking maybe we'd want to play... Let me just take a moment here to think. Do we want to play the 3 mana the 3 mana Selfless Spirit, whatever that's called, the new one?
Oh yeah.
Or we could maybe play like...
'cause it's a board wipe on the backside too, so that actually might be really cool.
Yeah.
I know the back half is called Deadly Vanity, so...
Okay, there you go.
We'll search by that.
Deadly Vanity. Yes, Selfless Glyph Weaver. If it loads. One day, we'll throw it in and see if we can find it in here. How much mana is the front side? 3 mana, right?
Yeah, he's 3 mana, exile him to give your creatures indestructible until end of turn.
And the back side is choose creature or planeswalker, then just so we choose our Liesa or something else big. And this is a combo with Massacre Worm. If Massacre Worm doesn't kill everything,
yeah,
we can. It costs a lot of mana, but let's say we're in the late game and I reanimate a Massacre Worm. It kills all the small things.
Yeah,
you cast this on
8
it.
mana, destroy, or you choose one creature or planeswalker and destroy the rest.
Both halves combo with it because if I have a Selfless Spirit, or if I have the front half of this out and I have like a Doomscar Foretold or something, we play, we sacrifice the creature that I was just talking about, and then we play the Doomscar and then kill everything with the Massacre Worm out or something. It's a little bit ambitious, but I think that's the thing we're going for here, right?
Yeah, and all those are good cards by themselves too. So.
Oh, and we probably should put it into Teferi's Protection if you're down with that.
Oh yeah.
Teferi's Protection. Okay, we need to cut like one card if you're down for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think right now we have 67, and yeah, so let's cut one. Let's find maybe a 1-drop, 2-drop. I hate that it puts these 3-drops down here. It makes it so sad. Maybe maybe we just cut these 2 3-mana cost ramp spells and just play one more 2-mana one. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
So let's cut Commander Sphere and cut Heraldic Banner. It is cool, but
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just put in the charge counter one.
Or wait, do you want to do the one that gives you no max hand size?
Oh, sure. We can play Mind Thought Vessel, right? Yeah, we can put in Thought Vessel. There we go. All right, that seems good. We're not playing really many hate bears at all, except for like Redain and stuff. But I think that's okay. We don't need to. Let me think. We have we're not playing any graveyard hate as far as I remember, so we do want to make sure we get a Bojuka Bog in there for sure. Let's get that.
So we want to start doing the lands then?
Yeah, I think that's what we move on to. So I'm not going to put in dual lands just because I don't think they're really what we're going for here. So I'm not going to put in like a oh god, what is the dual land called?
Godless Shrine?
No, the good one. Alpha duels.
Like actual scrubland?
I'm not going to put in scrubland.
No, yeah, like actual dual land, but
actual factual scrubland. No, we're going to put in Godless Shrine. We could put in fetches, but let's just put in the cheaper fetches for now, if you're cool with that. So, Wooded Foothills and Bloodstained Mire and Polluted Delta. You cool? Not Wooded Foothills. God damn it. You asking Magic players remember the names of cards, right? We're not putting Windswept Heath in there.
Green, white, one?
Yeah, green, white.
That's Windswept, isn't it?
Windswept, yeah. Windswept Heath. Sorry, we're not going to put in not Arid. God damn it! What's the one in these colors? The black and white one. Whatever. We'll throw in Windswept Heath. We get 4 of them in these colors: Polluted Delta, Bloodstained Mire. Because these ones are notably a bit cheaper than the old ones. And which one am I forgetting? Flooded Strand. Do we have any other? We don't have the Battle for Zendikar land in these colors, do we?
No.
Okay, we have the Czech land. What's the Czech land called? This is the hard part. Here's where we go to EDH Rec and we scroll down and we look up Liesa and we look at the lands. Here's a good use for EDH Rec. Oh, notably, we are playing Weathered Wayfarer in our deck, so that means I want to put in...
Isolated Chapel.
Thank you. If we're playing Weathered Wayfarer in our deck, I want to play Ancient Tomb and I want to play Nykthos.
Mm-hmm.
So Nykthos, Shrine of Nyx, and Ancient Tomb.
I like the castles.
I don't... So I hear you here, Eli, but I think the Black Castle in this deck is going to make us freaking die.
They always come in untapped, though. Trust me. Believe me.
We'll throw in the castles.
They're just like
let's just make sure we have enough basics.
There's a low cost to it. Yeah, we're gonna have enough basics, I think.
Castle Lochthwain and Ardenvale?
Castle Ardenvale. They're very low opportunity cost.
Sure.
I've rarely ever had them come in to play tapped.
So let me think. I want to play the Painland, which is
Caves of Koilos.
Yep, Caves of Koilos with a K.
You want to play the Snarl?
What is Snarl? Snarling. What card is it? Frostbully Snarl.
Shine Shadow.
What is this card? Oh, no. I actually think that we're not playing enough plains or swamps in our deck. I mean, we're gonna play enough, but I think I want to play the flip one. The double pathway. Yes, I think I want to play the pathway. If you're cool with that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Pathways.
Who knows the name of that? Nobody. Let's see. Somewhere around here. I skipped it. There we go. With a let's see how many. We need to make sure we have enough basics in our deck. Right now we could put in 21, which would be enough for sure. So I think we can put in some more untapped lands. Is fine.
You like Vault of the Archangel?
Did don't know how helpful it's going to be.
A lot of these creatures probably already have lifeline.
That's what I was thinking.
War Room?
Yeah, War Room seems kind of cool because it's just kind of card draw. I do want to play. I don't want to play Shambling Vent. Don't want to play those. I would love to play Emiria, but unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna have enough planes for that.
Yeah, and there's no real way to like accelerate lands into play outside of Sun Titan in this deck. So.
Mm-hmm. I would play. You would play Urborg and Cabal Coffers, but I think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna make the executive decision not to play them just because I don't have too much fun with that. I don't own either of them, and I don't think Eli, you own either. You might own it. Yeah. No. So we're most of these cards that we're putting in the deck, either Eli or I owns at least one of them.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any cards except for maybe a couple of the new ones that we don't own. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what our reasoning is for our budget. So I don't own either of those. There's a card that was on the tip of my tongue that I wanted to put in. The Stadium Land. Do you remember that card? If it enters untapped if you have 2 or more opponents.
Vault of Champions.
Vault of Champions. I have one of those, so we'll throw that in. And I think we're getting about down to how many, like, we have enough, fixing and stuff where we're perfectly fine to just throw in, 10 of each planes and...
Just fill them in with basics?
Yeah, I think probably want to err on the side of planes just because we have...
Oh, did you get Command Tower?
Oh, I can't forget Command Tower. Oh,
we need Temple of Silence?
I don't want to play Temple of Silence because we're playing
Exotic Orchard?
I want to play Command Tower, I want to play Exotic Orchard. And I want to play... I don't really like the other one as much, the one that taps for the colors you can produce. Mm-hmm. But... Yeah, do we want to play... Oh, I want to play...
Bounce Line?
Not in this deck, I don't think. I
do want an MDFC back to your hand.
That's kind of cute.
Tutor it with your Weather Wafer. Like it's just
like
some
okay, no. Okay, we are playing Keeper of the Accords. That does make the bounce land better. So I kind of like that.
I like bounce lands.
What's it called? Basilica.
Orzhov Basilica. What do you think of Myriad Landscape? It could let you ramp into early Liesa.
Oh god, we're cutting down on not enough basics.
Well, I think we're only at about like 10 or so non-basic lands, right? Including MDFCs.
We're at a lot of non-basic lands. I want to add another one too. I want to add the search for a basic, the fetch land that searches for a basic. Remember the name of it, Eli? You got to help me out here.
Oh yeah, the one you have in your Aurelia deck.
Yeah, just because here I'll find it from Modern Horizons. Search your library for a basic land, and we go color identity equals C, and we go type land labbed. This is how we do it here. We scryfall. There we go. Prismatic Vista, I think, is better than Fabled Passage, so I'm going to put that in there. So yeah, I think we have quite a few non-basic lands in this deck. We have 20 right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we have a lot. But do we need more than... Wait, what's the mistake here? Oh, it's not counting the MDFCs, so we have 24 actually. Maybe that's a little too many.
Out of a total of 38 lands.
So we could play 14 basic lands. Is that too little? It might be.
Just go. That's probably.
I mean, it's not terrible. We could just go 8 each or 7 each. Wait, was it 16 or 14? 14, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can go 7. I mean, it's not terrible. Like that's fine, ish. Do we want to play snow-covered plains or regular plains? Probably regular plains.
I just gotta say, I'm not a fan of the flavor text basics.
Yeah, they show up here. Let's actually. I haven't done this at all, but I don't even know how to do this. Okay, fine.
I'll change the
edition. Art. Whatever. We'll throw these in there for the sake of brevity. If I can figure out how to use this. Oh, 7 and then swamp. There we go.
Well, I think the important thing, even though there are a lot of non-basics, is outside of the bounce land and the MDFCs, like
there's no tapped
no
lands,
tap lands.
which is great. And the Bajuka Bog is pretty much it.
Bajuka Bog.
But other than that, I don't think there's any tapped lands here, which is awesome. So I think this is about what we've got, and we're gonna stick with the price here is gonna be. This price is not indicative of the price of this deck. This probably is a pretty pricey deck, but every single card in here is the newest edition of the card. So we're not playing this Demonic Tutor. We're not playing this Elvish Norn that apparently costs $400 for some reason. All of these, we're not playing like the Japanese, Soul's Attendant, which is $20. So this deck is, if I had to guess, I could just put this into Tapped Out, and it'll be the link. It'll be in the description. But so if you want to click it and see how much it is on that or something, feel free. But it's probably a bit pricey. Probably something like $600. Probably something like that. $700 maybe. But a lot of the things in this deck that make it pricey aren't really important. Like, you don't need to play this like really souped up mana base. You can just play
the fetch lands are...
They're not necessary. They see, like, all these say like $60, but these are like the versions that are very expensive.
That's just like a little like extra thing, because like you own like a lot of the fetch lands, right, Spencer?
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky to own at least the ones from. I don't own any. I own a couple copies of the 4 we have in this deck. And I don't own any others.
We'll admit to doing this, and this is something I would honestly recommend that most people do too, for the sake of Commanders. If you have one expensive card that you like to play a lot, is find a good way to proxy that card.
Yeah.
And so that way you only need the one real copy, because like if you own one real copy, you could just switch it between your decks, but nobody should have to expect you to do that.
So like I have one Stoneforge Mystic that I own. It's like a $30 card. I want to play it in 3 decks. Like, it's just a card I love to play. So I think I can justify getting a nice proxy with a back, some proxy with like a back that doesn't make it look like a Magic card back, and then just play that and be like, it looks like a card on the field. And I think
you're
it's
not
okay.
trying to deceive anybody, and it's just like, as long as your card looks like an actual Magic card on the front side for like the sake of the game, I don't think anyone should be upset about you playing proxies.
Yep. So you'd be surprised how much your cost of building a deck goes down if you do proxy a couple expensive cards you own. I'm not saying to proxy every card, because like if you don't need to proxy a Phyrexian Reclamation or like a Suture Priest. Like, you can pay the $2 to get another Suture Priest if you really want one. Oh man, I know we just finished the deck, but is this a Solemn Simulacrum deck? It might be. We'll leave it out for now. It's not necessary.
It's okay. Like, I play it, when I can. But I mean, we got
some things. We got
the Keeper, the Accord, like
a
lot of 2-mana rocks and Smothering Tithe.
So this is kind of was just like, I think we've been going for about an hour or so. Let's see, almost an hour. So this was just kind of like a quick thing we did. Like, as you can tell, because you watched all the way through. We were just kind of going very quickly and not like putting insane like we're just kind of putting in cards that we think would be good and like kind of building the deck together. So it wasn't, I think it's just a fun way to build the deck, and it very well might change tomorrow or the day after if I build the deck and play it and realize I want to do it differently.
Yeah, I think you should get what you can and try and build in paper, and I'm looking forward to playing with and against this deck.
And I might make a couple substitutions if I realize that I can't get like a land tax or something like that. So, but yeah, for sure, if you want to build a deck like this, like, feel free to swap out the expensive cards. Like, you don't need to play there's some cards that I would recommend. Like, you play Austere Command, but you don't need to play a Twilight Prophet. You can cut that. It's a $35 card. You can replace it with something else. You can replace it with a Phyrexian, Phyrexian, the enchantment, Phyrexian Arena. Thank you. But I think that's about all we got here, Eli. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I've been talking very fast the entire time, and I'm sure everyone is...
Yeah, so this might not be a very frequent series, because I don't know like how many decks we're going to want to make, but maybe if anyone has any ideas, or we're always like, I make too many decks, so I need to stop doing it, but next time I do come up with a new idea, maybe we'll turn that into content.
Yeah,
say like always be producing, or
next time we'll do Eli's deck or something, and I'm one to just play good stuff in decks, so I hope that you all don't get bored of just putting good cards in the deck. But that's about all we got. We appreciate you watching, and see you next time.
Yeah.